I got this mic, so I hope you can hear me better. Now, this pull workout got me to where I am now in around 20 months. It's very nice because it works both muscle and strength separately. Yeah, that's the word. Now, it's very nice because you can just adjust the difficulty. So even if you're a complete beginner, not a complete beginner, but if you can do a couple of pull-ups, then you're good to go. And even if you're an advanced calisthenics athlete, you're good to go too, because you can just make the exercises harder, and that's it. So it's basically progressive overload, but you can do it infinitely. You'll never reach the point where you're doing the workout the hardest it's possible. So that's a nice thing. Now, this workout is composed out of 7 exercises, and normally you do 3 sets of each, but you can do a different amount of sets depending on your goal. Now, a very important note is that you really should have rings, because they will, like, legit, I'm not even exaggerating, they will 3x your progress. Like, you really should have rings, trust me. You're better off with them. So now I'll tell you the exercises in a nutshell, but you should keep watching beyond that too, because it's important to understand them. So the exercises are high pull-ups, any variation of the front lever or abs, depending on what you can do, normal pull-ups, ring flies, one arm ring rows, and ring bicep curls. Now, I'll tell you about the difference between working out like with the bar or with the rings, because it's important to know when you are training muscle and when you are training strength. It's literally basic theory, it's easy to understand, you'll see. Now, the bar exercises. So you can use the bar for both muscle and strength depending on how you use it. And in this workout, we'll have 2 exercises for strength and 2 for muscle. Now, a very important tip to know, it's so important that I'll even make a separate video about, and it's the importance of knowing when and how to use bands like elastic bands. They can really skyrocket your progress. We'll talk about on more about that later. I don't know what I've said just now. Anyway, so now the high pull-ups. Basically, the high pull-ups, they're also called explosive pull-ups. This will train your explosive strength. So basically, the high pull-up is basically a normal pull-up but higher. If you want to learn the muscle up, this is the ultimate starting point. So it's not you. There are a lot of of videos showing how to do the muscle up and shit, but the ultimate starting point is to become good at high pull-ups. Now, the minimum amount you need to pull yourself in order for it to be considered a high pull-up is just under your chest. So, of course, everything below that is better, but that is the starting point. If you can't do it, like, if you can't reach under your chest and you're like somewhere up, you don't want to use bands, because that means you can't do a lot of pull-ups either. So you should focus on those first, and I'll just talk about them in um the 2 previous exercises. Next exercises. Now, you can really see how it feels to like record a video without, you just normal, you can't say it perfectly. Anyway, now the second exercise, any variation of the front lever or abs. Now, first, let's say you can't do any variation of the front lever. For reference, the easiest one is tuck front lever. Then you should try leg raises and do like 8 to 10 reps for 3 sets. But if you can't do those either, then the easiest ab exercise you can do in this pull workout is just knees to chest raises. So you should start with those. Abs generally is a pretty like easy muscle group to progress at. You'll pretty easily get stronger at it, and you can even get to toes to bar pretty easily. Now, well, not easily. It of course it will take a couple of months even, but they're not that hard to progress. Now, if you can do any progression of the front lever, then you should do that. The progressions are tuck front lever, advanced tuck front lever, one leg front lever, straddle front lever, half lay, and full. Now, of course, um, you have also the same ones but with bands, and choose the hardest progression you can do for 5 to 6 seconds and stick to it, like have it in your workout until you can do it for around 10 seconds each set. So at least 10 seconds for 3 sets. And when you can do it, you just progress to the next progression, and then you'll just start with 5 seconds there and then the same thing from now on. This is a very important thing to note because with skills like the front lever and the planche, and I'll make separate videos about those too. Now, about pull-ups. So basically, if you can do 6 pull-ups or more without a band, then do those with 3 sets. If you can't finish one of the sets, for example, you do 6 6 4, then you do the first two like 6 6 because you can, and if the third set you do 4, you just take a pause, like a break for a couple of seconds, and do the remaining pull-ups, which in this case are 2. Or for example, if you're more advanced, you can do 12 pull-ups, like 12 12 12. When you go to the next level, you'll not be able to do 13 13 13, but you will be able to do like 13, 12 and 8 maybe. And the thing is, you just keep doing that thing with like a small break and then finish the pull-ups you need to do. And basically, after you can consistently do a number of pull-ups for 3 sets, for example 7 7 7, if I can do 7 pull-ups for 3 sets for 2 workouts in a row, then I'll progress to 8. Then I'll do like 8 7 5 or 8 7 6, and then I still work on it, and when I get to 8 8 8, you just move on the next level. So it's pretty easy to understand. Now, later in the workout, in the bar category, like the bar exercises, you'll also have the slow chin up, but this is in between two of the ring exercises, so I'll speak about it when that's the time. Now, a tip: generally for strength exercises, it's very, very, very recommended for you to use a band because ex- you want, let's say you want to learn a skill like the front lever, and with the use of bands you'll be able to do a progression you normally wouldn't be able to do. And for example, even if you want to increase the number of pull-ups you can do, you just do the number of pull-ups, and then when you use the band, you're basically doing more pull-ups than you are supposed to do. So that's basically training your muscle like till it can't literally do anything anymore, and that's how you get like very good endurance and strength for the particular exercise you're training for. Make sure you actually do the exercise itself. So for example, when there's at the gym that machine where basically you're doing pull-ups but you have something under your knees, so it helps you do pull-ups, it's easier. Well, if you want to become better at pull-ups, then that's not the way. You really should, it's better to do it with bands because you're simulating the real exercise, so that's better. I also have a friend who progressed a bit easier with bands, so you should do that too if you want to increase your number of pull-ups. Now, we'll talk about ring exercises. Basically, this train you're like, I'll show a video of me doing ring flies. They basically train, I don't know how they're called, but these parts, I'll highlight them. Now, you do this for 10 sets, 10 reps, 3 sets. Now, the form is very important, and it took me like when I was a complete beginner, it took me like 7 to 8 workouts to get the form good. And basically, make sure your arm are always straight. This is the hardest part, like for everyone, the most confusing part. And they'll do like, they'll do something like this, and their arm isn't always straight. That's the point. So train on that. um Also, control the negative. There are a lot of people who they do like the positive, and then the negative they just let themselves fall kind of while holding themselves on the rings. And just control the negative too. That's the you're working out your back, extra. That's the right way to do it. And adjust to the right angle. So basically, the more towards the origin of the rings you go, the harder it is. So basically, the further you go, the harder it is, and the more backwards you go, the easier it is, because gravity is pulling on you. Like your center of gravity is like positioned a bit. It's positioned so that it's easier for you to do the rep. And basically, especially when you want to improve your form, like with the straight arms thing, you want to just go at an angle, like just basically almost standing up. Just have it do it very easily, and you'll do it with your arm strength, and you'll see how the form should be. And then just go downwards, and you'll naturally get better at it. And the progressive overload with this exercise, and with all the ring exercises in general, is the more forward you go, the harder it will get. So you'll naturally evolve. You don't even have to think about this, because at some point the level you are at right now will feel easy, so you will naturally go like lower. Now, the arm rows, these are basically dumbbell rows from the gym, but the calisthenics way. So this train your biceps and your back, of course, as you already know. Now, you want to start with the ring horizontally, like hold it like this, horizontally. And when you do the rep, your hand slowly goes vertically, and then you want to touch your chest with the ring. And then the negative is basically you just going slowly towards the horizontal position again. And then you do this motion for like 10 reps, and you do 10 reps, 3 sets each arm. So 10 reps on this arm, 10 reps on this arm is considered a set. Now, the slow chin up, you'll switch back for this exercise to the bar again. And I'm warning you, this is a hard exercise, but here's how it works. It's very important for building muscle. Now, this is how it works. Your goal is to do the slow chin up for 20 seconds. So basically, the slow chin up works like this. You start like in the dead hang with your grip like this, like in a chin up grip. And then you start on the dead hang, and then you pull yourself very, very slowly for 20 seconds. So I'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and when it's 20, I'll be here. Then hold this position for 20 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20. And then you go for 20 seconds slowly back down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And basically when it's 20, you'll be back again. Now, this is a pretty difficult exercise, and if you can't do it for less, if you can't do it for less. So basically, 8, no less than 8 seconds. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold for 8 and go back for 8. And if you can't do it for around 8 either, then you want to do the same thing like 20 20 20, but at the in the Australian pull-up way. So basically, I'll show you a video. You will just pull yourself normally for 20 seconds. Then when you're up, you want to hold yourself like you would hold it in a real like slow chin up way, so you don't have your legs on the ground, and you hold it for the most amount of time you can, but not surpassing 20 seconds. So if you can do it for only 10 seconds, then do it for 10 seconds, but the max should be at 20. And now you just put your legs back on the ground and do the negative for 20 seconds. This exercise generally isn't done with a band, so keep that in mind. Now, we're at the last exercise, which is the ring bicep curls. The same principle as in the gym, but this is the calisthenics variation too. Basically, you want to touch your forehead, or go even further, that's a bit better, and make sure you only use your biceps. Don't use your like legs and spine. And a mistake that I was doing like pretty often is raising my chest, and you don't want to be doing that either. So only use your biceps, keep that in mind. This is my workout. Like I've said, you can do it more difficult. So at the ring exercises, you can go lower if you want, or at the slow chin up, you can do it for longer if you want. And for the front lever exercise, you can just you progress at the next level. Or at the pull-up exercise, you can do more pull-ups. So you'll never like run out of things to do in this workout. This is a very good workout, as I've said, for all kinds of strength, for isometric strength in the front lever, for explosive strength, for endurance and the pull-ups when you can do more. So that's a good thing. So what you want to remember from this, basically from the theory, is that a small amount of hard repetitions means you're building strength. A big amount of easier repetitions means muscle. So basically at the rings you're doing like 10 reps, you're building muscle. At the explosive pull-ups you're doing 5 reps. And in this workout you're training both strength and muscle. So that's the basically the most important thing that's happening. Thank you for watching this video. I'll also do my push workout. I'll also show you my push workout, the front lever, the planche, the muscle up, basically calisthenic stuff. So if you like me, just keep watching me, subscribe. Thank you.